Hello, good people out there. Today is Halloween. It is October the 30th. The year is 2022. You are in the 411 Sports World Fantasy Football Show. We thank you all for watching. Lacey Dawson is in the building.
I'm in disguise. I'm incognito. You're not supposed to know who I am. But okay, fine. Happy Halloween, everybody. Or All Hallows Eve, however you want to look at it.
And none other than the calculator is in the house.
Greetings and salutations, everybody, for the wonderful Halloween edition. Luckily, even though my kids are grown up, one is back visiting from college because she wanted to hand out candy. So I said I could definitely use her help. So,
well, there you go. You have an assistant.
That's right.
All right. And who are you, by the way? Look, you're a Saints fan today.
Oh, hey, I was going through my various jerseys, and I said, why not throw back to the era of Ricky Williams, one of the few people where the Saints traded every one of their draft picks to draft Ricky Williams. And then was like 5. Although, hey, I can't complain because he did good when he was with the Saints, and they did get a first round draft pick back, which wasn't nearly the price they had to pay for him, but at least they got one back. And then the Dolphins, of course.
Now you know who I am.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Is she gonna be able to breathe, people? That's gonna be the
not for long.
Not for long. Okay. So, but yes, I had to bring out my Ricky Williams jersey for this episode to remind people of when he was played and he wasn't out smoking, because he was ahead of the curve on legalization, if people realize. He every now and then I hated it. I tried to get the same Mike Ditka garb with the dreadlocks and stuff like that, but I could not find it.
Well, you do have the headset on, so you could be the offensive coordinator. You could be Sean Payton as well.
I'll make sure you have one next year.
Okay. Yeah.
And Lacey.
Yes, sir.
Oh, go ahead, calculator.
No, I was about to say, I think with the way the dates go, it's just odd that, we do have an episode on Halloween Day. I don't think we'll have it on Halloween next year.
We'll make one for you.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Special edition.
Yeah, we'll get with the producers on that. Good. We'll get the schedule in early.
Okay, gotcha.
Like they do the Super Bowl. And Lacey, by the way, who are you?
I am not Lacey.
Okay.
It's not a cat, it's a bat.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're a bat woman.
I'm a bat person.
Okay.
Yeah.
A bandit. All right. All right. And then I'm Mr. 411 MD. All right. Here to prescribe you with what you need to get your fantasy team to the top.
Yeah, and it's very good to have an MD on this episode, because a lot of we do talk a lot about medical issues that happened this weekend. So it's always good to have an MD online.
Even if
some people would say milk dud. Well, anyway, let's get to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, we're back. Time to get into the injury report.
This is so painful.
Mark Andrews, one of my favorite tight ends of all time. He was injured and was out of the game, calculator.
Yeah, and but good. Well, if you want to say good news is that they said it's not injury, and another good news is he gets the extra time off since it was a Thursday night game all the way. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he plays Monday night. So he does get that extra day of rest. So good news, bad news. Bad news, he's hurt. Good news is he's get extra rest before he can play. And they apparently need him. Although, if you want to look at it, beware that I believe they have their bye week after this week. So they might just want to rest them and give them another week of rest. So definitely, Mark Andrew owners, do not be shy about going to the waiver wire and possibly getting a fill-in. But if he plays, you start him, especially in the landscape of tight ends. But if he doesn't play, plan accordingly.
Cooper Kupp. What's going on there? Is the cup half full or half empty?
Yeah, well, it's half full on how you look at it. I'm still waiting on reports, to see what it is. But the most aggravating is, he got the injury pretty much on the last drive of the game. So and he left the game kind of gimpy, but everything I heard, I didn't hear anything over high ankle sprain or low ankle sprain or just nicked up. Game was out of hand. Didn't want to take chances that type of deal. But again, look forward because we will talk about a little bit later. There are going to be 6 teams on a bye week. So it's not like you're going to have a lot of options you can actually fill, especially to fill a void of Cooper Kupp.
Yes, absolutely. Any more injuries on the slate?
It's one of those things where, and I don't know if it's Devontae Parker. He was actually looking like he was coming in, and then knee injury went out of the game. Christian Watson, who the Packers really, really needed him, went out on his first catch. Concussion protocol, because we know now in this current situation, if you have any sight of a concussion, you were in concussion protocol. Matter of fact, they took it was last week. They took a guy out for concussion protocol. And then they came back and said he never had a concussion. So he said, "So why am I under concussion protocol?" We gotta, anytime now, every time I'm watching the game, if I see a guy get hit, I get scared because if he gets up slow, and then you have a guy that isn't playing fantasy football, and doesn't really care, about his fantasy team, he's going to rule him out for the rest of the game. So, but also Ezekiel Elliott. They said he's coming back, although, the good thing is one of the reasons they said he could have played this game, but soft matchup.
Yeah.
Bye week this week. They were going to give him the extra week. So no major injuries. This was more of a opponent cautionary type, almost giving him rest. So Zeke owners, don't freak out. He should be back week 10. Even and everybody's saying, "Oh, see what happens when you give Tony Pollard a bunch of touches." Let me tell you something. If Zeke would have had all these touches, I think he could have got similar stat line against the Bears, who had to almost was in a nickel defense throughout the game, especially when Prescott was loosening them up throughout the game, because a lot of Pollard's big runs and so forth came after those 2 quick scores by the Cowboys.
Okay. All right. Any last words on injuries?
No, that's it.
We're not
finished. So we're good to go into your studs and duds, Mr.
No, not just yet. Not
Uh-oh.
yet. Couple of people I want to talk about. I realize you're hitting the high points for the most part, but there's some people. One in particular, I am sick of Mr. Rashad Bateman.
Oh,
he is.
Oh man.
Yeah.
There's some other people. There's a lot of people that are injured, not just Cooper Kupp and not just the main guys.
Well, Irv Smith is getting. He was injured. Tight end from the Vikings. Exited the game. I know he exited the game. He's getting an MRI on the ankle.
People that just aren't playing, like James Conner and Cam Akers. What's going on? It seems to be
Cam Akers isn't injured. Cam Akers is sitting for emotional, personal issues.
Yes.
So the thing is, if Akers is not, and if people are thinking about why did Darrell Henderson not play, Darrell Henderson actually came down with the flu this week, so he was out due to illness, not injury. So he will be back next week. However, the Cam Akers, unless he's traded, and the trade deadline is this Tuesday, you might not see Cam Akers for the rest of the year. So,
yeah, it's listed as personal.
Yeah.
And I think it is personal between Cam Akers and the Rams. So
gotcha.
He's out of there.
And Bateman, they've come back and said it's not this isn't going to be just a 1 week type injury as well. You will not see him till after their bye week, which is not this week but next week.
And it won't matter.
Well, yeah,
He's
yeah,
not doing anything anyway.
yeah. So, but
Michael Thomas, is he coming back?
and I found an update on Michael Thomas. It's not an ankle, it's not a knee, it's a toe injury now. So,
Oh,
which
no.
is
again.
yeah. So I think he has the dreaded turf toe. So that could nag him. This could be but as they showed last week, they're gonna run the ball, play defense, do the little short passes to Olave, and so. One of those things, and the thing is, the Saints bye week. I mean, their bye week isn't until like week 13, so they have a couple more weeks that they still, do. But I do not expect Michael Thomas back, and Deebo Samuel again. This was another hamstring injury. However, he didn't play again. The reason they didn't play, they're trying to give him the extra rest because of his bye week this week. So again, another precautionary type.
All right,
issue.
I feel better. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Any other questions, Lacey? No. I got plenty of more news if you have questions.
I'm sure you do.
Okay.
That's all I need. That's all I needed to know. I just wanted to make sure that some other names were tossed out there.
Okay.
All right, just write a prescription. We'll help you out.
All
we'll
right.
get some more information.
Appreciate it.
Okay, let's switch over to studs and duds. If you all don't mind, let's knock out the duds first, because that's probably because the studs has a long list.
Oh yeah, it was a very high scoring weekend this weekend.
Yes. So let's go ahead and jump on a couple of some of these duds.
So
some of these duds.
Now, as you can see, there are a lot of Raiders on here because even though a lot of people weren't playing, I think David Carr had like a little over 100 yards for the game. It was very odd that they came in there because they come in. They had a bye week 2 weeks ago. They actually looked decent last week. And then this week, I mean, they just never got in the flow. And the reason I know that is I have their kicker who had 0 points because he had 0 attempts. They rarely crossed midfield because Carlson can kick bombs if you give them a chance. So they didn't even cross. The only time they crossed that midfield was in the fourth quarter, and they were so far behind they just tried to they just kept going for it on fourth down and stuff. Right. But I guess and I want to talk about greasy wheels. If people were hearing the grumblings of Jerry Jeudy not getting along with Russell Wilson, well, Russell Wilson is starting to feed Jerry Jeudy, and even though that's nice for Jerry Jeudy owners, that has been to the detriment of Cortland Sutton owners. So unfortunately, Cortland Sutton with another rough game because it's twofolds with the Broncos. Russell Williams is really liking his rookie tight end, that Dulcich guy, and he likes Jerry Jeudy, and of course that is happening to hurt Sutton. And I think they were talking about actually trading Hamler and Jerry Jeudy, which would help Sutton even more. But since Jeudy has turned it on, so to speak, I think that's not going to come to fruition. So, it's still a wait and see for Cortland Sutton. But as of now, he's out of my starting lineup. I only have him in one league, but I'm not starting him in that league.
Okay. Any more duds?
There's plenty more duds. Let me pull up some of my teams.
Let Lacey. She's got some teams in there.
I'm a little bit salty.
Jonathan Taylor,
Chase Edmonds, George Pickens, Rashad Bateman. Oh. Those are all like 0 points. Well, Chase Edmonds had 1 point. I got to give him credit, right?
Well, and the bad thing about the running backs in general, because Mostert was what I would consider a dud based on his projections because they were playing the lowly Lions. But, man, the Lions couldn't cover anybody. So Tua kept saying, well, I'm going to keep throwing the ball. So that was pretty much game script dependent on, hey, if you're not going to cover Tyreek Hill 30 yards down the field every single time, why run it? If you can't stop the pass, why run the ball? So, that's one of their philosophies that, Mustard, and then Edmonds has kind of just been, he's been struggling all year. Mustard's now the starter, but, if you got a guy on a team that's not going to run the ball because they got such a prolific pass defense, and he's clearly second fiddle, it's going to be hard to trust him going forward.
Okay, I'm not finished. Daniel Jones, Hunter Henry, Devontae Smith.
The hits keep on coming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and this was the week that we saw, Daniel Jones has been doing too good to be true. We saw it, and hey, I'm not gonna lie to it. I fell for it. I started, and Lacey can see it in the league that I'm with her. I actually have quarterback issues. I've been streaming quarterbacks from the get go, and I put Daniel Jones in there this week, thinking that at least I get some rushing yards, and that didn't help. So it was one of those things that Daniel Jones has kind of come back to earth. And when you're going to give Barkley the 1 yard touchdown, that again, that takes away from Daniel Jones, possibly sneaking one in. So Daniel Jones, welcome back to being Daniel Jones.
I was going to start Daniel Jones in one of my leagues, and then I saw Andy Dalton was out there. I said, "What the heck?" And so that was a good decision. But
very good decision. Because I didn't have that luxury, because I went and picked up Daniel Jones in the league I'm in with Lacey, and then there's another league where I have Justin Herbert, and of course he was on the bye this week. So I said, "Hey, Daniel Jones for 1 week. What could go wrong playing the Seattle Seahawks?" And that kind of didn't work out very well. So I'll be glad.
How bad could it be? Robert Woods. I'm sick of him.
Oh man, Robert Woods. Any pass catcher for the Tennessee Titans, one part of it. And then we saw really how limited they were with Tannehill starting. So they were going to protect their rookie draft pick, Malik Jackson. So, but hey,
Malik be out there this week.
Yeah, and with Derrick Henry running for 200 yards, that's reverse of the Miami. If you can't stop the run, and this is, believe it or not, this is the fourth game in a row that Derrick Henry has had over 200 rushing yards against the Houston Texans. So yes, anytime he plays the Texans, he gets 200 yards, not 100 yards, not 100, 200 yards.
Wow.
I feel like you're gonna be saying that again in just a few minutes when we switch over here to the studs. So let's knock out some of the studs from Thursday night.
Sure. Let's do that.
Okay, from Thursday night, Lamar Jackson, Drake, and then you have Likely, and he was a unlikely hero for that game.
And
Mike Evans and Tom Brady.
And a good thing about that Isaiah Likely, folks, if he is out there available for Mark Andrews owners,
he is not.
Well, actually, I've seen him. He's available in 3 leagues. The 3 leagues he's available that I see him in. I actually have Kelsey in 2 of them and Andrews in the other. So I might I might not get Likely in that league. I have Mark Andrews, because I'm sure the other people that see me having Mark Andrews are probably going to snake him. But I have the 5th waiver priority in that league. So hopefully people in that league aren't listening to this show, even though I told them to listen to our show, to like and subscribe. So.
Yeah, but that's from the Thursday night game. And calculator, it's highly unlikely.
So, yeah. Well, you can always hope.
All right, so let's throw another player up there of a stud. Look at this guy right here, Cal, and Lacey.
Must I?
I mean, that's...
I don't want to talk about it.
I was he's actually on this, and with this, he hadn't helped. He helped me a lot, but it's not going to be for much. But yeah, the thing is, he should have had 5 touchdowns for whoever watched that game. He dropped one in the end zone. It was good coverage. I'm not going to give him, but and then one on a slant pattern that he was tripped up at the 9-yard line that he usually scores on. So yeah, he was and this is what actually curtails the value of Jalen Hurts. They're just blowing teams out, and their defense is so good, so that Jalen Hurts gets almost 30 points at halftime every single game, and then he ends up with 30 points for the game, because then they just go to the run game, and their run game is so good that they can just run the clock out doing that. So that's. But hey, anytime you get 30 points, even at halftime, you got to be satisfied with that.
Absolutely, yeah. So AJ Brown was a monster. The Eagles are still rolling; they're undefeated. All my Philly family is happy about that. But here's a guy, Mr. Versatility, McCaffrey. He figured it out. Had a great game.
Oh, and the thing is, it's like he's going from what we would say a bad situation to a good situation, of course. But look at the 3 touchdowns, folks. Look how he got it. He did the trifecta. Pass, 1 passing, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. That's only been done one time in the history of the fantasy football, and that was by the great LaDainian Tomlinson back in the day. That was able to get the trifecta in 1 game. So yes, if he can do that, that is simply special. But we'll talk about it. The guy that took over for him in Carolina, did he not have himself a game, Mr. 411? And
yeah, he sure did. Yeah, he sure did. And I was actually at that game. We'll get to it. But here's Henry. You mentioned Henry earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Monster game.
4th game in a row against the Houston Texans, over 200 yards. And then, of course, it's 2 touchdowns. They played solid defense. They didn't need to do anything fancy. And I tell you the truth, I think that's one reason they sat Tannehill. They give him some extra rest. And based on the opponent, that they knew they could game plan to protect that rookie quarterback.
And you know what? He plays for the franchise, the Titans, who were formerly the Houston Oilers. So I believe Henry was, yesterday for Halloween, he wanted to be Earl Campbell. You know what I mean? He wanted to be Earl Campbell with all those carries.
Earl Campbell
carries.
Or Eddie George.
Eddie George, yeah.
We're talking about prime Eddie George that would just ground and pound for throughout the game.
Absolutely.
So yes, he did his best impersonation of those great running backs.
Right. Here's Jalen Hurts. You talked about him earlier.
4 touchdowns, and look at the passing efficiency. Only 28, passes. But when you're that efficient, you get your points. And what's amazing, not a lot of rushing in this one. Didn't need to. AJ Brown was catching them all. So if you're gonna try and do man-to-man coverage on AJ Brown, or even when AJ Brown's covered, then you have another option like Goddard, or another option like Devontae Smith. Jalen Hurts can score points in a bunch of different ways, and that's why he's such a valuable commodity to fantasy teams.
Yeah, great fit for the Eagles.
Oh yeah.
All right, next. Cowboy running back, Tony Pollard. He had the keys to the team, and look what he did. 3 touchdowns.
9.4 yards rushing. But, folks, it was against the Bears. It was a positive game script. It was everything you could want for a running back. And I think him being able to have shared carries with Ezekiel, it was relatively fresh. So they said, hey, but because what's amazing, he's got all that. He still only had 14 carries. So it's not like they overworked the guy. The reason he only had 14 carries is because every time he touched the ball, he was off to, 10 yards a carry. So a lot of times when on those carries, he had to go to the sideline for a breather. It's like, man, after running for over 10 yards a butt, I need a breather. Very efficient. And there were a lot of Pollard owners that were pleased with seeing what he could do with a full load. Welcome back, Alvin Kamara. The people saw the thing. What was amazing is the total yards, but 27 touches, most of it over 90 in the receiving department. But 2 receiving touchdowns. That's what. But the highest, one of the highest scoring running backs this week, because he got the full workload. And again, we always talking about game script. This game script was, and he was at home, and this could be just the beginning now. So because the Saints do have some juicy matchups coming up.
Wow, what a game here in Arizona.
Man, he's just doing, it's like he said, maybe those steroids are put to good use, because he is uncoverable right now. And what I don't understand is it's not like they have a lot of other options. They have a Rondale Moore here, a Dortch there, and a Zach Ertz and stuff like that. I would just put all my coverage on DeAndre Hopkins and let one of those other guys beat him. Although I really can't say much because, it's not like the Cardinals are winning games. So maybe they'll keep doing what they're doing and say, hey, give it all to DeAndre Hopkins, and as long as we can win.
I like this guy right here, Travis Etienne. I like him.
Yeah, and what is pretty impressive about him is 24 carries. I mean, that's a healthy workload. No, in any way you slice it, And what's pretty even more impressive is it wasn't like he was going against a easy defense. I mean, he was going against Broncos. It was supposed to be a awesome defense. But get this he got 86% of the running back carries for the fourth straight game.
Wow.
Another run over 30 yards. So you combine big plays with volume. Very, very good if you have ATN on your team.
We're going to prescribe some defense for the Detroit Lions because check out these receivers.
Oh. Wow.
Oh yeah. Well, see, and that was the problem is I was going against Tyreek Hill in one league, Waddle in another league. So no matter what, when that ball was going in the air, I was getting hit with one of them. So it's like that was, and I am unfortunately I have them in none of my leagues. On all my leagues, I have neither one of these guys.
Same here.
So yeah, it was one of those things where. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna lie. I was down on Tyreek Hill. I thought he was going from to a worse situation, but Tua is showing that he can hit these guys, But again, I'm gonna caution people. This was the Detroit Lions, so you're not gonna get much of a juicier matchup than that. But hey, we've seen these guys perform against other teams like the Bills. They had a good game against the Bills. So as long as Tua's throwing the ball, the Dolphins look to be getting. I mean, and it's one of those two guys. They're going to be high volume and high reward that they're going to do with that volume.
I see one guy had Spencer had Tyreek Hill and Waddle started both of them.
Oh, wow.
30 points each.
Yeah.
I mean, that's jackpot right there.
Yeah.
To be able to start two receivers on the same team.
Well, it's two receivers on the same team. A lot of times you could talk about negative correlation between the two. But in this instance, when they have such a high percentage of target share, that's where it actually comes in handy. What's going to hurt, though, you start both those receivers and they play a nice defense that, not going to do so much. That could come back to hurt you.
Unfortunately, that will happen to some other team. It won't happen to me.
Yeah, sound like you the good look charm this weekend, Lacey.
I'm going to work on it. And I tell you what, these darn I didn't realize there was a London game.
Yes.
On Sunday until about 11.
Oh, so you weren't able to do one of your patented last second pickup for
I know.
Lacey's last minute.
I had Jerry Jeudy on the bench because I was trying to decide between him and whoever I was trying to decide between. He was the one I should have started, but by the time I got up, they were already almost finished.
Yeah,
so that's my bad.
I'm not a big London fan either. So, but NFL does what they do.
Yeah, well, no, I just forgot about it. I thought there weren't any more games until November, so I was wrong.
Well, I think we're good now. I think they completed their series of games over there for the season.
Yeah, I think that. Well, they still have an overseas game that they're playing in Germany.
Yeah. Okay, so Germany. That was the last one over there.
Yeah, okay, Germany's going to be the next one across the pond.
All right. So you heard it here now. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you check the schedule and wake up early, get some coffee, and set your line.
That's going to be week 10. Not this week. Don't have to worry about it. The week after next is the one.
Okay.
That's going to be week 10. That's going to be the Seahawks versus Buccaneers. So they actually got a good game.
That's a pretty good
across
game.
the pond.
Yeah.
I remember when many years ago we lived in Germany and we got to go to one of these games in Berlin, and it was pretty awesome. The Giants were playing.
Oh wow!
Oh, that worked out for you.
Yeah,
so we had a really great time doing that. So those games are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the NFL is trying to tap into that market just like other sports and organizations are doing, and that's what it's about.
Yeah.
But for us, we're going to jump into the waiver wire.
Okay.
And then after we get into the waiver wire, we have our mini draft. So we're rolling along real nice here. So let's hit the wire. All right, calculator, we're going to hit the wire here, the waiver wire. Here's some of the names here, and you can roll.
Yeah, Evan Ingram, I actually picked him up in 2 leagues. as a Travis Kelsey owner. So if he's available, he is a great, not only a great spot feeling. If you're one of those guys that, even though Kyle Pitts owners got some relief, but if you're a Njoku owner, that if you're one of those late drafting tight end people, Ingram is a good pickup. We've talked about Rondale Moore. Again, I'm not a Rondale Moore fan going forward, for the mere fact is I think granted, they are going to be a negative game scripts, but again, he is the third option on that defense. And again, so yeah, risk it at your own peril. Although, hey, this week might be a perfect week because again, 6 teams on a bye week this week. So this is where you gotta look at replacements and what you need and stuff like that. Can you pull up that list again, Mr. 411?
Well, I can get the producers to do that.
Oh yeah, well yeah, of course. That's what I meant.
Okay, I'll send that over to them.
I know you got them in your ear, so if you could get them to put that back up.
All right, let's see what we can do here.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
That's right. And Kadarius Toney is on that list. However, folks, he is learning a new system. He is in a big thing. So again, at your own risk, I still like Wan'Dale Robinson. When you have Slayton, who's just another guy, they call them Jags in the fantasy circles. So Wan'Dale Robinson, he's actually got some skills. Garrett Wilson, and Lacey can attest, I did do him as a last minute pickup in one of my leagues, a league that I'm in with Lacey, because I wasn't a Mike Williams and a Jamar Chase owner. So I got hit with the double bug, as well as, Joshua Palmer being on the bye last week. So Garrett Wilson, thank you very much. And I think as long as they have to pass the ball, Garrett Wilson is the main target. Elijah Moore has, ever since he requested that trade, his snap count has went down each week. Romeo Dobbs, hey, again, Lazard hurt, Christian Watson hurt. There really is only Romeo Dobbs right now. So yes, I like him, and he made 2 fabulous catches just last night, which were amazing. But yeah, Joshua Palmer, that's a guy you want to keep an eye on. The reason I say that, he has cleared concussion protocol from my sources. He should be available next week. Mike Williams is out, and the Chargers get the Atlanta Falcons. So I like any matchup that involves the Falcons. Just ask DJ Moore. So yes.
I like David Renee is that last at that number 10 slot. That at least that's what it looks like.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, again, I hate running backs with low target share, even if Bateman's out. But hey, if Bateman's out and Andrews is out, and Bateman is out, you're right. So he is kind of vaunted into the thing. However, beware that they have the New Orleans Saints coming up. So I have a feeling that could be a run heavy scheme against the Saints. But yeah, Duvernay, hey, you could do worse, because he's also one of those guys that do end arounds and so forth. So he's one of those guys that you can double duty, so to speak.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you have it with the waiver wire. So we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back on the other end, we'll get into what we love, and I know Lacey loves it. The mini draft, because Lacey likes to draft her own team,
I do, and
we're going to get into that, and we'll continue. Yeah, we're going to continue with the race to the steak dinner.
Okay.
All right. So we'll be right back.
Follow me, 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 yeah, follow me.
All right, we're back. You probably wonder what that is.
Very much so.
Check out Ash and Smoke Cigars. Lamont E. Thomas. He has infused cigars, gift sets, cigar boxes, cigar purses,
that seems familiar,
and more.
That is a name from the past.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Another LT.
That's right. So check out Lamont E. Thomas Ash and Smoke Cigars. 518-61-CIGAR. That is 51861. What is it, everybody? Cigar.
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 All right. Ash and smoke. All right. All right. Well, let's see who's going to smoke who as we try to, win this steak dinner, everybody.
Okay.
So the mini draft.
All right.
All right. If you can talk to the producers and tell them if they can pop up the wheel for people.
Sure. Let's see. Hang tight. Producers. Okay. All right. It's on the way, calculator. There's the wheel of names.
Yes. All right. So, and if people want to know how, I gotta pull up our. I'm trying to. Sorry, guys, if y'all could bear with me.
Yeah, we're good.
If you want to explain how this works, why I pull up our mini draft from last week.
No problem. We got it. Well, before we do that, everybody, please do the following. Very important. Please hit that like, subscribe, and the notification. Comment. Do everything you can to help us. Help you. We appreciate your support.
Okay.
Yeah, and just last week, a recap. We had the. It looks like unless Lacey pulls off her default pick of Joe Burrows, unless he gets over 50 points, it looks like I will be able to pick up my first win of the season.
All right.
This week, so I did I basically it looks like Derrick Henry brought me to the finish line with this. So, but that was last week. So this week, I got all new people, and let's spin the wheel.
Okay, Omaha. I think I've got trick or treaters. Hold on, just a moment, please.
That's fine. We'll do our draft or the wheel.
I'll pick for myself. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah.
All right. So wheel of names. It's going to spin. We're going to set up our draft order right here. We're going to, once the wheel lands first, like for example, Mr. 401 has the first pick.
Oh, and so you had first pick last time, Mr. 401.
Yes. Hopefully I have better results this time around.
Yeah.
But we will draft 1 through 4 and then reverse it and go 4 through 1, reverse it 1 through 4, 4 through 1. That is called the snake draft. Once we establish the draft order, we will draft a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, and a tight end. Doesn't matter what order, but you have to have one of each.
Okay.
And so that is our mini draft. And the winner will receive a steak dinner.
And I love steak.
And it's courtesy of Angelica's Catering.
No vegans here.
Yep. So catered food by Angelica. Angelica R. Roberts. That's 478-396-2810. 478-396-2810. Angelica Roberts. Catered food by Angelica.
Thank you, Angelica, for being a sponsor. All right. So, Mr. 401, you have the board. You can
Kelsey.
Okay. He did not want to be burnt by a Mark Andrews another week. So I will give you Kelsey. So Lacey, Kelsey is off the board. You can get anybody. Pretty much. Besides Kelsey, of course.
Well, yeah. I'm trying to see who's off.
And Vinny Testaverde.
I think he's off, isn't he?
Who is?
Christian McCaffrey.
Yes, he is off. Yes, the Browns.
We'll put the bye weeks up here too. Yeah, okay, we'll have the bye weeks going across in just a moment.
The 49ers.
There you go.
Yeah, they are off.
Okay, gotcha.
There's your bye weeks.
Okay, let's see. According to the bye weeks, okay, let's see. Cowboys, Broncos. Oh, Cowboys. Okay, nice. Ooh, okay. Well, let's see. I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts.
Nice.
They're playing the Texans, but
yeah, and I'm going to go with I'm gonna go with Josh Allen. He did good for me. I mean, he wasn't the highest scoring quarterback, but I liked what he did for me. And I'm going to give Captain the highest ranked wide receiver for, so, according to, I pulled the projections off of our league for wide receiver, and believe it or not, Justin Jefferson is the highest receiver ranked by Yahoo in our scoring format. And then
Wow.
I will give him a tight end. I'll give him Mark Andrews, who is, even though he's injured, they expect him to start, and Yahoo gives him the second highest scoring for tight ends.
Hey, look, and he still gave you 6 points in the PPR league being injured.
He did.
So he was on a roll.
He was. So, and
he was like butter.
Since 2 tight ends are off the board, I'm going to go. It looks like Miami's playing the Bears, so I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill this week.
Yeah.
Right, Lacey.
You pick on those Bears, right?
I am. And since pretty much all wide receivers are on the board, that's why I decided to go in that. All right, Lacey, you still need a running back, a wide receiver, and a tight end.
Okay, I'm going to go with DeAndre Hopkins.
Right.
Wow, against my Seahawks.
Yeah.
Fast-paced, snap count, and as long as the Seahawks will keep scoring, DeAndre Hopkins is going to have to keep up with them.
Yep.
All right, Mr. 411. You get back-to-back.
All right. I can't remember everything here on the board and what's off and what's not available. But are there any positions that are locked in already?
No. I mean, there's only 2 people with quarterbacks, me and Lacey.
Okay.
There's only 2 people with tight ends. You don't need a tight end because it's a captain.
Right.
And then wide receivers, there's 2 wide receivers off the board. It pretty much is wide open. There's no, in other words, there's nothing that's going to just fall to you. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you pick is going to be something you need and something that might not fall back to you by the time it goes through us again.
All right. Jalen Hurts.
He's off.
He's gone?
Yeah. Lacey got him anyway. And I got Josh Allen.
Okay, that's not cool. All right, so I will go. I'm gonna go DK Metcalf.
Okay.
I have a feeling that Metcalf's gonna have a nice game this week. I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of this shootout.
And you want to talk about bad medical advice? I mean, they were talking about DK Metcalf being out 4 to 6 weeks with a high ankle sprain. Yeah, he didn't look like he was hampered at all. So that was pretty impressive. All right,
you
still need a quarterback and a running back.
Okay. Let's go. Is Cincinnati Bengals quarterback available?
Burrow is available.
I'll take Burrow.
Okay. Joe Burrow. All right. So, Lacey, you need a running back and a tight end.
Okay. For running back, I will take, what's his name? Etienne from, I think that's Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. And see. Don't worry, we got 2 more picks. Lacey, I can do these. Okay, so I'm picking because captain needs a quarterback and a running back. So I already got so I'm going running back since he's going to pick a running back before I go. And my running back, in our scoring format, Derrick Henry again. I mean,
yes.
When you get those points per carry, he's money. And captain, the next highest is Eckler. So he's going to get Eckler, who has that juicy matchup against the Falcons this week. And the last ranked quarterback is Lamar Jackson. So he's getting Lamar Jackson as his.
Not a bad consolation prize.
Nah. So, and then tight end. I forgot about Kittle being off. Dang.
The Browns, Cowboys, Broncos,
Yeah.
Giants, Steelers, and 49ers on the bye.
I'm going to go with the same. I think it is going to be a shootout with the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. So I'm going to get Zach Ertz in this one as my tight end. I like him being the number 2 target in what could be a high scoring affair. So I'll get Zach Ertz as my tight end. So Lacey, you still need a tight end. Kelsey, Andrews, and Ertz is off the board.
Okay, I'm going to go with Tunyon for Green Bay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Onion. All right. And for one, you end it with a running back.
All right. I'm going to go Seattle again. I'm going with Walker.
Oh. You're going to say if they're scoring by Seattle, you're going to get both of those. So, all right. That completes the mini draft. That has been saved. So we will look at it tomorrow. And Captain still leads. Captain / default still has leads with 3 wins.
Captain default.
That's right, Captain default. There you go.
Yeah.
And then 411 has 2 wins. Looks like I'll pick up a win this week, and then we'll see what happens next week.
All right.
All right, guys.
That ends our mini draft. All right. I think we have it all covered for today. Any parting shouts?
No.
No, just see what happens. Enjoy everybody's Halloween. Enjoy the trick or treaters. Enjoy possibly getting lots of candy. Well, before we leave, Mr. 41, you want to go over the listener league real quick?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay. As you can see, it's pulled up. It looks like for us on the board, looks like Camel Clutch. Looks like you are going to stay in first place. You beat. See, Lacey only gets her 40 points from tight ends when she plays the calculator because, again, the calculator. It looks like I will be the second highest. Oh, no, Eric beat me. Oh, Eric.
Look at Eric. Look at Eric sneaking in there.
He is sneaking in
there. And
Kamara, didn't he? Did he have Kamara or Cat McCaffrey? I think he might have McCaffrey. Yeah. So because if me and Carter's Peanuts, even though I'm in the lead, he still has his kicker going tonight. I doubt his kicker will be like my kicker. If you look at it, me and him actually had over 120 points between our running back or between our quarterback because I had the Hurts AJ Brown combo. But he had the Tua Tyreek Hill combo, and then he added some Hopkins with it. He added Deontay Foreman in his career game against me. So, and then of course, Jonathan Taylor re-injured his ankle. So he kind of, missed out, even though I did what I could. 175 points will usually win you games. But when your kicker gets a goose egg, when you have to score 190 to win, there's not much else you can do. So, but I congratulated Carter's Peanuts. I said, congratulations and good luck trying to win with Devontae Foreman.
Will you pull up my team real quick? I just want to see.
Sure.
Oh, and as we switch over, you did mention Foreman having a monster game. We talked about that earlier. We were supposed to really tap into that, but that was a stud performance, by the way.
Yeah. But again, he was playing the Falcons, and you can say, well, guess what? They play the Falcons in 2 weeks. So he gets them again. Although they say that Chuba Hubbard could come back because I don't see Deontay Foreman being able to get 30 carries every week.
Oh, I see what happened. You had Etienne and Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson.
Oh yeah. So that's what happened.
I had Jamal Williams.
But Daniel Jones, that's
because Mahomes is on a bye.
Yeah. And this is where the bye would, because you also have, CEH who was on a bye. So you really had no choice. Jerry Jeudy was the only one that really could have, because I think you started Jamal Williams. I mean, you got almost 30 points for him. So,
that was all I could do. Like I said, when I woke up, it was too late to look at Jeudy it was too late to look at Jeudy. And I said I wanted to play Tyler Boyd. So, well.
Yeah.
It
And also,
was one of those weeks.
and another shout out to Larry. Larry looks like he could win his 4th in the game. It looks like ever since he put the beat down on Carter's Peanuts, Larry's team has come alive. So Larry has been top 3 scoring in the past 3 weeks since his matchup with the Peanut Man. So Larry looks like he'll win a game. But again, my 175 points looks like it'll be the 3rd highest unless Larry passes me up. But I just happen to play probably the guy that's either going to get 2nd or 1st highest. But hey, that's fantasy football.
It
sure is.
You just want to make that top 6.
Yep, and even though I'm down, it looks like I will be having I have a 952 points for scored. So that will keep me up there. I just need to string some wins together, and some of that bad luck hopefully won't stay with me for long. So
okay.
All right, great league.
All right.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a great show.
It has.
I
enjoyed everybody's costumes today.
Yeah, I gotta go get out of this thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for Lacey, aka Batwoman, for Ricky Williams, and Dr. Jones,
Yeah. And
aka
ciao.
Mr. 401, we are out. We appreciate you all watching and listening. Catch us next week for the Fantasy Football Show. Catch us tomorrow, Sports Brothers. Catch us Thursday, Crossing the Lines with the Calculator and Professor Sachs. So be ready for that. Dr. Sachs, excuse me.
Dr. Sachs.
And so be ready for that as well. All right. Everybody have a great one.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Take care. We are gone.
Happy Halloween.